Thanks for staying with us. So Nigerians are reacting to the story of a past... no, that's not the story we're talking about. Reacting to the diplomat who was assaulted in Indonesia. I'm going to play the video for you so you can see it. I must tell you that it's actually disturbing, so viewer discretion is advised.
Hey. No. How did I get it?
Yeah! 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 My neck!
No!
I can't breathe!
No!
I can't breathe!
You want
I can't breathe!
Huh? No, Indonesia, man! Huh? Indonesia!
Right. So, that video went viral yesterday, and obviously Nigerians are reacting to that video. And I'm happy that the Minister of International Affairs have also responded. They have since said they're in talks with our representatives over there, and we will be having some report from them to know exactly what happened. But while investigation is ongoing, we would like to hear Nigerians' views on this, because many have said that this is as a result of the perception of Nigerians abroad, how people see us, not just as Nigerians, but as a black race. And the fact that this man was allegedly assaulted because of immigration issues,
yes,
I believe. They said that he had an
according to them, they say it's during a roundup by Indonesian immigration officials while searching for irregular and illegal migrants in their country.
Right. So, although they have since apologized, according to the papers, but our conversation is not, yes, we'll start with what happened, but it's more of how we are seen abroad, how we conduct ourselves. Yes, people will be bad if they want to be bad. You know, it's not about how we behave or not, but how are Nigerians representing Nigeria abroad? How do people see us? And I'd like to hear Nigerians' views on that. You can call us on 081-270-53687, 091-9076-948. Send us messages on YouTube and Facebook. We'll be happy to read your messages.
Yeah, Maria, I believe that people treat you the way you treat yourself. People value you the way you value yourself. It's the energy and the vibe that you give to them that will determine how they respond to you and how they treat you. And if they treat 1, 2, 3, and you come from a place where your government cannot stand and say, how dare you treat my citizens like that, they will take you for granted. That's just what is playing out all over the world. Anywhere you see Nigerians, other African, whether it's African countries, whether it's European countries, they always have the mindset that we can deal with you and get away with it, and your government cannot do anything about it. But there are some citizens of the world, you know, in some countries that you dare not touch one hair in their head. Their government will come after you. So we need to get to that point where we, first of all, recognize life, appreciate life, respect life enough in our country, and carry it outside the country so that when other people see you, they respect you. So they are carrying out a raid on illegal immigrants. Are they not supposed to do it the right way, which is, you know, following the fundamental human rights? They ask you for your papers. They ask you for your, don't you have your passport, your certifications? Is there, don't they have data to cross-check to find out if you're there or not? Why do they have to go the route of, you know, physically assaulting you like that? It's because they have no respect for your color. They have no respect for your race. They have no respect for anything that comes from your place. So if it was somebody who was not in that color, for instance, they won't go that way. They would check through, they know the right things to do. So I think it's time for the Nigerian government to sit up. First of all, they say charity begins at home. Sit up in your home, treat your people right, then enforce it outside. That's the only way. If not, Oyo is our case.
So I watched that video, and it's just very, very sad, the way that we get treated, you know. And at the end of the day, the economical power that we have, they say wherever you go to, if your nation is not good, there are two migration models. You are either an immigrant or you are an expatriate. And if your country is powerful when you go somewhere else, you are an expatriate. Even though you might have gone there to look for work, but you are an expatriate. But if your country is poor, wherever you go to, even if you are very, very, like you are educated, you are an immigrant. And until Nigerians realize that we owe it to ourselves to build our nation, we cannot blame our leaders. We cannot blame the government. We have a responsibility. I get judged because I hold a green passport. If a senior colleague in the real estate industry said that the only reason he decided to pursue international, and is a very rich man, international, another passport, was because twice he was embarrassed in America. They called him, they checked his bag, checked everything, found out he was in America for a legitimate reason, kept him for hours, called all the people that he gave numbers to. They spoke well for him. They did not apologize to him. He felt like the least you would have done was to apologize. They carried his bag for him, but they did not say they were sorry. And they felt the only reason they did that to him was because he was carrying a Nigerian passport.
Yes.
They wouldn't do it. I went to Dubai and the queue, they said, if you are from this country, this country, this country, go this way. See them, you're just going easily through the checks. If you are from all the other countries, go this way. See the queue. All of us, they stick into our nose, checked all sorts, because the level of our country, where we have placed ourselves in the world. And we can study the Singapore model. We can study Chinese model. All these two were maltreated across the world at some point in time. Until they got their act right economically. Until they created an identity, how they want to be seen. Right now, they are being seen in a different way. Look at India. You don't need to be very, very rich. The Indian community, you might not like them, but guess what? Most successful businesses in Nigeria are being managed by Indians. Why? They have strong work ethics. Wherever they go to from their country, when they go there, they do their work well. You might have issues with them. A lot of jobs in Nigeria that are C-suits are going to these people. What can we do as a nation? We don't need to leave government.
Right.
Create your own identity.
We are the government.
Because there's
a saying in my place, it is not about economic power. No matter how wealthy, we can't all in the world be economically on the same level. And as you mentioned that Indians are here doing amazing things, I can tell you in every single country in the world, you have Nigerians that are expatriates that are helping those countries develop. The best in the medical fields in America, in all the world, in Saudi, are Nigerians. Doing amazing in their fields. The greatest, what's it called? Coding engineer or whatever, this young man who did the robotics is a Nigerian. They choose to see us the way we want our people to see us. It's not about our economic power. 3 Israelis came into this country. Let me get their names again. I woke up to this news on Gatekeepers News this morning. 3 of them came into this country on a visiting visa, on a tourist visa, and drove straight to the east to make a video without getting the requisite permit. Is it possible in Israel?
You won't try it.
Rudy Rochman, David Ben-Naim, and Noam Libyan, and they were picked up by our DSS and treated with the dignity that their people want to be treated. Nigeria remains the highest, best trade partner for Indonesia in Africa. And then they pick up every Nigerian. This is because he's a diplomat. That's why he made the news.
Yes.
They say they are checking migrants in their country because he's a black man. And you held him like that. You question, you interview the person talks to
like
you.
A human
Thanks
being.
for Geneva, even if I've not been to the UK, they will ask you, where's your passport? You show them. If you are illegally in their country, they can do something about it without taking out your human dignity.
Yes, no.
So
but in Nigeria,
what do we do?
There are 10,000 Chinese illegal immigrants in Nigeria doing business in the lab, and
we don't harass them. Yes.
Who is picking them?
Okay, let me go on a break. Let me go on a break, because there are different angles to this, and you're right, Nima, because we are not happy about what happened. But there are two sides to make a coin, right? So there's a part of Nigerian citizens who are illegal in different countries. Many of us will discuss that when we come back after the break. Stay with us. We're right.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still on this matter. The Nigerian diplomat that was assaulted in Indonesia. Nigerians are reacting.
I was going to like
talking about the
Israelis.
Yes.
So this Israeli, the Roachman one, made a video about what he calls an abuse by the DSS and said that they are doing their Shabbat, that they were supposed to break it with a grape juice or wine, and that they were not giving that. But he said, look, and then he showed in that video that they were giving grapes and crackers in our DSS detention. And I'm asking, will he do a video of that kind of treatment of a black man in his country? Or should we go and open the books on the abuse of the Palestinians under any justification in their country? Because even if a person is a criminal, the reason why they say take to court is so that you preserve the person's dignity until the court who qualifies that reverses that dignity and say, as part of your punishment, your life and everything is no longer yours. So,
Nima, I mean, you're very correct on that line of thinking. But there's also another angle that have said that Nigerians get visas and travel, a visiting visa, and go and stay in a different country without the right papers. So they have actually set the precedence that a lot of people are looking for Nigerians who are illegal immigrants across the world. So I hear you. They should be treated with dignity. But there are lots of Nigerians that have done so many things that are taken from the system, what they've not sown into the system. So now, maybe there are countries like the US, Canada that treat you with respect. But it's other Asian countries. It's other Asian countries that the laws are not as strong, or the human rights laws are not as strong as those Western countries. They will treat us with this day.
You know that they are. BC mentioned that you are treated the way
you treat yourself.
The way you treat yourself, but there's another thing. You are treated the way your government treats you. You are treated the way the government fights for you. There's some level of reaction that our government could have given Indonesia. Immediately that story came out. That Indonesia will never try it again. You know, there's some things that you have a diplomatic commission. You have a diplomatic relationship. You have business relationships. There are pressure that you put on them because of who you are. Don't treat my citizens like this. It's the way you behave. They would decide that we can't try. So if it's a Nigerian, let's not do that. The Nigerians, the government would deal with us.
The government might know, but the people might not know that.
There's a body language that the government would give based on how you treat their people.
No, I want to quickly
Let me take this call, PC Nima. Adolphus from Ikeja, are you there? Engineer Adolphus, you're live.
Yeah, I'm here. How are you doing?
Good. Go ahead, please.
I've been watching your program for over 5 years.
Thank you, sir.
I came back from the United States, and I lived there for over 30 years.
Wow.
I have a son who just graduated from Harvard at the age of 21.
Wow.
And he's working with Google.
Wow.
So
fantastic.
what I want to say is that, it's not what the country can do for you, it's what you can do for your country. We have to respect ourselves before any other country will respect us.
Thank you, sir.
People ask me, why are you back from the United States after 30 years? I say, why? This is my country. If I can help one person to grow, at least people will realize that, yes, I have got something for them. I've traveled far and wide, over 45 countries in the world. And that is how you will be treated, whether you like it or not, because you are black. So you cannot take it away from you. That is my submission to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Adolphus.
So I wanted to quickly add to what Tokwe was saying, that this made our government talk because it was a diplomat who was being treated. Our government should have been speaking when every Nigerian. I'm not saying being illegal in a country is good, but even when the person is there illegally, what your commission or your embassies are for is so that that person comes back or a person is deported. Except it is a crime that the person committed. And we've always respected Indonesia when it comes to their drug trafficking crimes. We've seen Nigerians on waiting lists who have been sentenced to death and executed. And Nigeria did not interfere in their sovereignty. But don't pick every black person
on the streets.
Leave them, let their country speak. But don't pick every Nigerian on the street and then our government to say, you went there illegally, anything can happen to you.
And it was a moving vehicle. I mean, let me take this call from Emmanuel, and I'll come to you, BC. Emmanuel, are you there? You're live, Emmanuel.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Hello, good morning.
We can't hear you.
Hello, good morning. My name is Emmanuel. I'm calling from Kaduna. My Emmanuel is spelled with I, please. Not E, is with I. Please, sorry, this is not the topic I want to discuss. It's the earlier topic that you people discussed. Okay. I wanted to say, in respect to the demolition of the church in Sokoto, in Borno State. Please, if you have a WhatsApp number Please, if you can send me your WhatsApp number, I'm going to send you photos. Reduce the volume, I said. Please, if you have a WhatsApp number, please, can you send it to me? Let me send you photographs of mosques that are built on main road, on the road where the road has to be diverted, and other religious bodies or religious buildings that are built in residential areas that are not demolished. So it's not that Christians are being marginalized enough.
Right.
That is just.
So that was a newspaper review. It wasn't a topic. We're just reviewing the papers. Yeah, BC.
Yeah, so I wanted to say that because our systems are not functional does not mean that other people's systems will not be. So we can't fault them for doing what they think is necessary. We can only appeal that they respect human rights when they are carrying out their duties, whatever it is, when it comes to our people. And we as a government, we as a people need to stand up for our people, whether they are high class, low class, middle class, or whatever class. So we should not be doing like what we do, even in, well, you know, we're very selective. Things will happen. Every 2-year-old is raped, every 3-year-old is raped. It's only when it's a particular sector, celebrity, or a high profile person that you see everybody coming out with placard to show solidarity. What about the other people around you who you have known, you've seen that those things have happened to, that you did not support? So we need to first of all understand the equality of human beings. We may not all have the same economic status and everything, but we are equal as human beings, and we must be treated with that respect. We also need to work on our systems. We are not a very, I don't want to use the word lawless now, but we do not obey the rule of law. And this also affects us when we leave the shores of this country. So if we are genuine in saying that we want to build this country, if we sort out ourselves, I think every other thing will fall in line.
So, as I said, with this show, the Indonesian government can't watch this show, obviously. So we are having this conversation to help ourselves. The objective of this conversation really is to help Nigerians abroad, because we understand how people perceive us, but we have to change the way we do things. And even at home here in Nigeria, the government must also change the way they do things such that we're empowered and our citizens abroad can be treated with respect. Let me take this call from Yakub. Yakub, are you there? Hello? Yakub, are you there?
Hello?
Yes, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
You're live, Yakub. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good morning, Morayo. And then good morning to you all in the studio. Morayo, in fact, I totally agree with all the opinion in the studio this morning, especially Sister Nima. You see, Nigerians, it is unfortunate that we always go out of our country to seek for a better living. In this kind of a station now, the man in question is not going there illegally. This is Nigerian representative, if I don't make a mistake. And then if the president enter your country illegally, I think what Sister Nima says is that you need to treat that person with diligence, and then you need to ask some questions. Where is your paper? Where is it? Imagine that man dies. What will happen? And then in our country, that is why I totally agree with the Tope and Obi as well. Because it is only this country you will see foreigner driving one way with your Nigerian police. You will be looking at them. They will be taking one way. Where you are Nigerian, you can't do that in your country. And then a foreigner in your country will be taking one way. Without nothing. And then Nigerian police will leave that very particular foreigner. And then in your Poro house, they will be treating you badly before the foreigner in your country. So what do you think? And then if Nigerian government say want to fight Indonesia, the question I want to put on is that, what do we have to fight them? That is the question. It is only God Almighty Allah will help us. Good morning.
Thank you, Yakub. What do we have to fight them?
We don't have.
We have
trade.
Tom Adegunwa says, I've been lived in the UK for many years. Nigerians don't have an embassy here. We have passport office. No consular help for Nigerians. Our country has a bad image. Hence, the diplomat is also affected. What people don't understand is if you treat your people badly and impoverish them, the multiplier effect will come back to you. They should stop stealing the citizens' money and repair Nigeria. Joshua says, truly, we are treated the same way, with the same disdain as we treat ourselves in Nigeria. I don't see this abuse abating soon because of our lack of patriotic zeal and ethics. I have seen Cameroonians and Nigerian citizens travel from their territory to Abuja unchecked. This won't happen anywhere else. Look at the various disheartening xenophobic attacks unchecked or unsaid in other countries. May God help us.
All right, we're going to wrap up on this. Go ahead.
Okay, there's a part I want to quickly say. When you're a Nigerian, you're on management level in any company. Because that company was established by foreigners, you are the one who gives them an idea of what you think will save them money against your own citizen.
People, yeah.
So I had a relative share an experience for me, how he was the expert in a company where they were producing plastic. He knew he was the one on the field. And then there was an expatriate who didn't know anything, whose 2 trips back to his country, I don't want to mention the country, was taken care of, housing was taken care of, car was taken care of. But the Nigerians who were working were paid 9,000 naira. Until when he decided, okay, I can't live or marry or grow on this salary, let me just resign. And the foreigner was saying to him, I'm really sorry, I've always felt guilty about what you were paid, but this was based on the advice
given by your
our
people.
Consultants, who are Nigerians, who told us how we will make money and how we will save money. In everything you do, ensure that your dignity as a person in your brother's interest now is preserved. Yeah. Will you survive on that amount of salary in this country? And you're basing your advice to save money for another person invest, whereas the person will make the profit that will give him a lavish life in this country.
We have a long way to go.
Let's be guided by our conscience.
Nima has opened a new angle, which I think is worth talking further on. We'll stay on this when we come back. We'll continue the conversation. Stay with us, don't go anywhere.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still discussing this diplomat that was assaulted in Jakarta. Let me take this message from Ambassador Ayo Olukoni. He said that the assault was a violation of the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, specifically its violation of Article 22 and other provisions on inviolability of premises and diplomatic agents. So obviously they broke the law.
They broke the law.
But in the same vein, there are human rights laws that protect Nigerian citizens that we break on a daily basis.
Within Nigeria.
Our police. So that was what the NSAS protest was about. The fact that the police assault Nigerians. We assault each other. A boss would assault the security guard because he thinks, oh, he stole my umbrella. You know, we do this to each other all the time. So the question, therefore, is, we do this to ourselves. Now, and a foreigner has treated us exactly how we treat each other, and it's becoming a problem. Why is this such a problem for us, Nima?
Sometimes you embarrass yourself. Sometimes you do. But when you watch another person embarrass your family member,
it go pain you.
Then you will know that what you have been doing is wrong. Right. So we know in Nigeria, we had a national against us movement to stop the level of abuses. It has not changed because we don't think the will is there to change it overnight. But we can, I cannot say because they do it here and find it funny that it's done somewhere else.
Yes.
And around the world, because when we try to excuse it and say, well, it happens at home. Yeah. Some people say life is cheap in Nigeria. And then so we'll sit down, we'll see a video. I don't know if that video was Nigerian, but I saw a video where Asians, boys, about 11 of them, killed a girl, putting something on her head and hitting on it. Even if she survives it, she can never be normal. She will have lifetime neurotic problem. And you know, they made that video and they were laughing and it went viral. Right. Such a video surfaces and
let me come to you. I have a call from Ola. Ola, are you there? Ola? From the UK. Hello, Ola, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you very much.
Go ahead, please. You're live.
As much as it's sad to see this happening to, you know, our representative there, it's unfortunate, and I listen to what you ladies have said. What Nigerians experience every day is worse than this. But the challenge is, you don't have an embassy to run to. But unfortunately, it's now coming, bearing them in the face as well. They are also witnessing what Nigerians are witnessing. It's not just the way, it's even the way Nigerians treat, even Nigerians back home, the way they treat you. They make it, you know, as a Nigerian, everybody is expecting your remittance. You are going through problems to get remittance. Where you are getting the remittance from, you are being regarded as no citizen, not even a second class. But if you have an embassy to run to, then it's a problem. But now, it's not something nice. It's by all shades of wrong.
Right.
But unfortunately, how else can we? Because it seems like you don't have a government. Even with your embassy can't help you. Anywhere in the world, your embassy can't help you. That's the thing. Nigerian embassy has not ever come to the aid of their citizens.
Yeah, so let me just quickly buttress Nima. You know, there's a saying in our place that you can insult somebody in your family, but nobody outside has a right to insult that person. That's just the case of what is happening to us. But I think we need to look at the solutions going forward. And how do we handle this holistically? You know, when you have been colonized and all of that, what I see is that a lot of people who have been colonized lose their identity in some way. And so anything from them they see as inferior, including themselves unknowingly. And then anything that comes or has a different skin color is seen as superior. If you remember, when I was in secondary school, we have girls, you know, we are supposed to be cutting our hair. And then these Oyibo girls come to school and they are allowed to carry their long hair because they are not supposed to cut it. This is a school that should have a rule. If all the girls are to cut their hair, the rule should apply for everybody. But we make exceptions when it comes to people of different colors, colors that we see to be superior to us. So if we want to solve this problem holistically, we need to start from love. First of all, loving ourselves to know that we are okay the way we are. I can work for your favor. I can fight for you because you are my sister. You are not just a Yoruba girl. You are a Nigerian. We should be patriotic. And if we can have that, then we need to clean up our image. And this is where the government and the media need to do a lot more. Our image is very important. We don't take cognizance of how we are perceived. We seem like we don't care on how the outside world perceives us, but it's going to work against us in the long run. We are raising children who are going to be young boys and young girls in other African countries, in other European countries tomorrow. And if we can't sort these issues now, they will be affected.
Let me take this call from Shola, calling from Ilorin. Are you there, Shola?
Hello, good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
I'm sorry, I don't like the lady next to you generalizing every Nigerian.
Okay.
I live in the state as well, and it makes no sense. When you say Indians work ethics, do you know how many Indians with Nigerian passports going to UK? A lot of them with Nigerian passports. It has nothing to do with country. It has a lot to do with our color. Think about it. In New York today, every hospital in there is headed by Nigerians. A lot of nurses are Nigerians. When they get treated, the same police that you treat end up treating you bad out there. It's just your color. It has nothing to do with it. And on top of that, the so-called ambassador, I wish you guys can look for the video how our ambassador reacts. We were treated badly in China because of the COVID. They say we started it. And thank God they've been treated the same way too in the States. That they did it. Anything called black is just a threat to them. You know what? I wish your station pays you guys an extra for your beauty. Or I mean it. I don't know
Thank you very much, Ola.
You guys, the beauty separate, but thank God. Talk to the ambassador. They need to act up. Somebody needs to say something to this, not press conference.
Thank you. I didn't get most of what he said.
So let me just, a lot of Nigerians in diaspora complain about our embassies. Like, they complain that we don't seem to have representation. And we've heard that they are largely not well funded, you know. So part of the problem of Nigeria is that there isn't enough money to fund many embassies. We can't fund the commissions. You have embassies that don't have heating. They don't pay for it is not hot. They will be freezing there, you know, and they don't pay for power. Some embassies don't have power. And so there are issues that are beyond the inefficiencies of governments showing up everywhere. But I know Brian wanted us to keep it to what can we do? Taking responsibility. I think that we can take responsibility to spread more of our positive stories. So I was happy that Nima highlighted positivity. Negative news travel faster. We need to make deliberate efforts as individuals to focus on positives. And we have many positive Nigerians shining the light out there. It's just that what goes viral is hush puppy. We don't have the Nigerians that get the awards go viral. We don't have the fact that two Nigerians, despite the unfortunate situation of being Nigerians, and the challenges of getting to the Olympics got medals in that Olympics. We don't trend it. We don't trend it.
I mean, what I'm saying, like, the way you say it so casually, unfortunate
no, Mariah, when you have when almost 50% of people that went to Olympics did not get to compete because of inefficiencies within the system.
Inefficiency. So
yes, inefficiencies within the system.
That's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate. So let me please, let's focus. Please let us celebrate our shining lights more than the sad ones.
You're not saying anything wrong, Tope. What we're saying is the fact that you said it so effortlessly. The reality, because the truth is that, yes, it's feedback for all of us, for Nigeria. It's unfortunate because we have doctors. Well, I was in a hospital where, while I was waiting to see the doctor, one other doctor was arguing with her boss. And she said, listen, I only have 3 more weeks in this country. At least let me go in peace without pay me my money. She was done. So whether we like it or not, we have a situation in Nigeria. The average Nigerian would rather travel outside. Maybe a few of us would like to stay, but most of us would like to leave. But so the truth is that how do we begin to retrace our steps?
It is not unfortunate that we were born, that our ancestors were born on this land.
Oh, of course not.
It is unfortunate that we came across people because we had value system. Before we came across this race who came in the name of colonization and tainted the things that were our own values.
And removed our
so
identity.
we are not unfortunate to be
Nigerian.
Wait a minute.
We cannot continue giving that excuse.
We're not unfortunate. We are Nigerians, and God makes no mistakes. This is where our ancestral lies, and we're not unfortunate because of that. We need to change our behavior. It is Nigerian officials.
Don't blame.
So I'm questioning the choice of words.
Right.
It is Nigerian officials who got carried away trying to get an endorsement with somebody and forgot to do our kit or take care of medicals for our people. If you were put there, will you be able to focus on the important thing? So let's question the things that they are doing wrong and make sure that it is done right and establish our integrity. Where all of us went wrong, who will take all to
let us let's do the situation.
So let me take this call from Cyprus and I'll come back to you, Tope. Good morning, are you there? Good morning, Silas. Are you there?
Yes, hello.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
All right, thank you. I'm actually a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Yes, I would say that any treatment that Nigeria sees outside Nigeria is actually because of the kind of picture or the kind of name we are giving ourselves in the international space. First of all, I would just like to make a reference to the case of Abba Kyari that has attracted global attention because it concerns the U.S. For example, we saw how Nnamdi Kanu was brought back to Nigeria without due process. And this is the same country that is also trying to follow the due process in the aspect or in the case of Abba Kyari, which the government of Benin Republic has refused to extradite or to bring back Sunday Igboho, stating the fact that Benin Republic has a law and that law must be respected. So it's quite unfortunate how the lawlessness of Nigeria as a country is actually going globally and everybody is seeing it. So I would maintain that any treatment that Nigerians or Nigerians see outside Nigeria is because of the kind of name we have given ourselves in the global space.
I agree with you.
Thank you very much.
We need to clean that. Yes, so it's still back to how we are going to solve the issue. Because if we keep talking, we know all the issues that we have. We know how we treat ourselves. We know how we don't have laws. We know how we don't have, our systems are not efficient. We know how they rather collect bribe than institute what would guide us and even our foreigners. And we know how these people, they are smart. They come into your country and they take advantage of your failing system. But we need to fix it. And we need to start by building our image. And one of the things we can do is, so we know that bad news travels fast. But the good news that we have as the media, what do we do with it? How do we blow it out of proportion for people to know? Because the truth is, Nigerians are amazing people. They do well
they will
outside
say
the
that
world.
you're supporting the government, but they will not tell you. Because listen, we get criticized. When we want to celebrate
good news.
the good news, they say, they paid them. Or somebody from Bodena has called them to say only good things about the country. You see, we must choose what we want. We have a long way to go. We try to stay positive, but no, they will accuse you of not saying the issue because those are broad. All they want to hear about Nigeria is the problem. They like to. It's like a nice therapy for them. It's like to drop their ego that yes, I am in America, I'm okay. But in Nigeria, they're going through this problem. It makes them feel good because what you hear, what they want to hear from Nigeria is just the bad news. When you say
can't keep
stories
giving
of
them
good
bad
things.
news, though.
They wonder, this one is just, she's eating. She's
eating from, yes,
She's eating
from
from
the
them. So
government.
how do we begin to mentally, deliberately change our narrative from within, outside, from inside out? Let me take this final call. Good morning, are you there?
Yeah, good
Mike,
morning,
are you there?
Mariam.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, a very good morning to you all.
Good morning,
The
sir.
first question is that, is the ambassador of Indonesia, is it still in Nigeria? If he's still in Nigeria, that means we're not serious. The ambassador should have been sent packing. You see, sometimes when our government, when they react, they do things and think that people outside the global world is not even seeing it or hearing about it. I'm happy that it happened to a Nigerian diplomat, and at the same time, I'm not happy that it happened to a Nigerian diplomat. The reason why I'm happy is because they are now feeling the heat an average Nigerian living abroad is feeling. And the reason why I'm happy is because they are feeling the heat now. Let me tell you, if that thing has happened to just a Nigerian, the Nigerian ambassador in Indonesia, they will just like, yeah, he's Nigeria, that's their behavior, that is how they should deal with him. He will not even find a way.
Thank you, Mike. You're right. So many Nigerians go through this. I would like to go back to what Nima had said earlier. Because the truth is we have nowhere to go.
We have nowhere.
Let's look around us. How many of us can make it to Canada? How many of us can make it to the United States or Australia or the UK?
Even if you do, your family members will still be here. You know that comment, one person will go, but your family members are still here.
We have absolutely nowhere to go.
We have to make it work.
I think we need to deliberately begin to close our eyes and ears to what people want us to say about ourselves and begin to see what we want to project to the world.
Yeah.
We need to deliberately change that narrative and let people know that, listen, yes, things are difficult, but somehow we can make it work. And we're doing this for 20, 30 years.
It also has to come from a happy place. So if the government can give us the basic amenities, as basic as water, light, road, education, healthcare, people will be happy to speak positive about the government. People will be happy to focus on the positive. We are hardworking people. We are very hardworking. So if we have the basic things, we can build our economy. The government will be borrowing from individuals in this country. If you just give them an enabling environment, that's all we're asking for.
I need to applaud
Somebody was reminding me about something, saying that we say, oh, Nigeria is bad. Nigeria has almost always been bad. That even when this is a 6-year-old person, when she was growing up, that her parents, some people got the opportunity to go abroad. How many people got the opportunity to go abroad? Doctors saying, oh, Nigeria is so good. People went abroad to go and get educated. How many? There were still poor people amongst us. The economy still didn't develop the way. We're talking about the granite pyramids. But how many people benefited from that? So the point is that we have a systemic issue that needs to be fixed. And that's what we're talking about here today.
I need us to acknowledge people that have taken responsibility for the lapse in our society. And one of them is Pastor Kunle Gab. Nima shared the story over the weekend, and I watched the video, and, a part of me was like, I beg, man, survive yourself. But, there was a passion with which he was fighting for the territory of Nigeria, and he was arrested in Benin Republic, and he's a missionary who felt like, I must hoist Nigerian flag on Nigerian soil. Benin Republic cannot take over Nigerians and take over Nigerian soil. And there was so much passion that I was inspired as a Nigerian that this man he's just one person. He believes in it. He studied the history. He got documents. He was fighting custom, calling custom to come and do what they're supposed to do. They're calling immigration to do what they're supposed to do. That is the kind, we need to publicize those. Those are the stories that should go viral. Those are the stories that we should see and teach in schools. That even if things don't go right in your country, you can still speak for your country. You must still love your country because you are not, there's no error in you being here. You are a solution to the problem you choose to take responsibility for.
Okay, we have to wrap up. Nima, your final words on this? You have to wrap up here.
I don't even know. Let me just say this. Do you see this laugh that some people laughed at Pastor Kunle Gab's story. In fact, some people found it ridiculous. This one doesn't have work. Wow. It's not food, that is the next thing. Makes us lose focus. We are the ones who don't have deep thinking. When you find such treatment that he had to endure, funny. Something that does not prick your conscience to think, to forces you to reason that what exactly should be, what is the right thing to do. So we should get to that point where we start to ask ourselves, yes, we all want basic. I want to hammer, I want to be everywhere, but after it all, after you've taken this whole thing, what exactly do you need? And what exactly do you want to leave your children? How do you want? I don't want to leave this world and see my children being treated like trash if I can look back. So all the things we are gathering, all these things we are gathering, that we're not thinking of the entire nation. The people that have gathered it in the past, see where they left us. Their children too will suffer for part of it. Even as a diplomat, somebody will now press their face, they'll be shouting. You know, so think deep. Think deep.
My prayer is that
it's coming to the bad leaders, their children's children eventually, because that's how we got here. If they have built a system of dignity for the entire nation, everybody
they used to curse Babangida and say, oh, this guy, the man is 80 years old today.
So, I must say that
so he has owned it up. So you should think about it.
On Monday, I was heavily bashed for saying that we should still remain one as in Nigeria. And when I say heavily bashed, Morayo, when I say heavily bashed, like it was heavily bashed. It touched me too. The bashing touched me. I said we should remain one Nigeria. And I say it all the time that I'm a Yoruba girl married to an Edo man. And there are many people that are married across the Niger. Yeah. So I am passionately vested in the success of this country because I have children who bear Osapolo and bear so we cannot.
Where do I go?
We must focus on the growth of this country. And I say it every time on my live shows, that on my social media, that in my lifetime I will see Nigeria succeed. Because I cannot die in a country that is this broken. God will make me a solution. And if everybody decides to be a solution one way or the other, we will see Nigeria get better.
Well, thank you very much,
Thank you.
So I also want to add that the change we're going to see is from inside out. Really. Yeah. There's no help coming from anywhere. No. Even our colleagues that are abroad, really, there's so much they can do. We are the ones who must set the pace for the development that we seek. That's all we can take on the show today. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.